insert text question. So you'll be giving a new sentence and you will have to decide where it fits best in the passage. So this requires you to know a lot about paragraph structure and the logic of a paragraph. So you should pay special attention to grammatical connections that are linking the sentences, because these could be hints for you. So you might see a question like this. Look at the 4 squares that indicate where the following sentence could be added to the passage. Where would the sentence best fit? So here are some tips for looking at the insert text questions. So make sure you try out the sentence in each square and pay special attention to connecting words, because they will give you guidance about what is correct. So you also need to review connector words before you take your TOEFL iBT exam. You should also make sure that the sentence fits logically with the sentence before it and after it. Make sure that you check for pronoun and noun agreement. So let's take a look at an example. So notice you have the squares and you have the text and the questions. So read carefully and take 40 seconds to answer this example. Ready? Go. So the correct answer was the last spot. If you chose that one, you are correct. It's the logical place for the sentence because it expands upon the previous sentence. The phrase, "its devastation," directly refers back to the American chestnut blight in the previous sentence. This is also why the sentence cannot be inserted at choice C directly before the last sentence. If the sentence is inserted into choice A or B, it would disrupt the description of the effects of the demise of the American chestnut upon the ecosystem. Okay, so the last type of questions are reading to learn questions, and you'll have one of these on the reading section, either prose or summary or fill in a table. And notice that these have different point values. So the type 9 prose summary questions measure your ability to recognize important information and main ideas in the passage. So for example, you could be given 6 answer choices and asked to pick the 3 most important ideas in the passage. But don't worry, it doesn't matter which order you click on these. It just matters that you have the 3 correct answers. So here are some tips for this. You might need to skim the passage again to reorganize the main ideas and important information after you finish the basic questions. So focus on distinguishing major ideas from minor ones. Remember, you are looking for the most important details. So take a look at this prose summary question. So at this point, I need you to look back in your materials for the reading section and open the PDF labeled Reading Example 1. So you will need this in order to answer the question. So once you have opened it, follow the directions to complete the prose summary exercise. So what did you choose? Hopefully you found 2, 4, and 6 to be the correct answers. Choice 2 is definitely correct because it is a general statement that is developed through the passage. Questions about the nature of this interaction and details of research on this issue are discussed in every paragraph, so it is clearly a main idea. Choice 4, like choice 2, is a major idea that the passage explores in detail. Paragraphs 3, 4, 5, and 6 are devoted to discussing attempts to understand whether and how facial expressions may reflect a person's emotional state. Choice 6 is correct because it is the main tenet of the facial feedback hypothesis. That is extensively discussed in paragraphs 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, choice 1 is definitely incorrect because it is just a minor supporting detail mentioned in paragraph 5 as an example of a more general and important statement about links between facial expressions and emotion. Choice 3 is incorrect because, while it may be true, the passage does not make this claim. Choice 5 is incorrect because, according to this passage, Ekman did not make this argument. Charles Darwin did. So the next type is a fill-in-the-table question. So this question is asking you to complete a table by organizing and dragging choices into their correct location. So remember, you'll be using a mouse. These questions require the ability to remember major ideas and place them in the correct context. So you can earn up to 3 possible points in this section, but you can get partial credit if you miss one. So here are some tips for this. Generally, correct answers do not match specific phrases in the passage. They are probably abstract, but they can be easily confirmed by those who have mentally organized their major ideas. Remember, you might have to make some inferences. So be careful because sometimes incorrect answers include words or phrases that match words or phrases in the passage. These could be tricks, so read carefully. Okay, so at this point, I need you to stop again and open the PDF labeled Reading Example 2. With this, you will be able to complete the prose summary question. So do that now. Okay, so what did you choose? All of the choices in the constructive processes column were mentioned in the passage as a process by which mountains are formed. All in the destructive process were mentioned in the passage as a destructive force that wears away the land. Separations of continents does not belong in the table because it is not mentioned in the passage as either a constructive or a destructive process. Formation of grass roots in soil does not belong in the table because it is not mentioned in the passage as either a constructive or destructive process either. Okay, so now we reach the conclusion of this section. I know that the reading part seems a little overwhelming. It's very long and you have a lot of different types of questions. But the reading section is very easy to practice and you have many practice sets included with the materials in this course. So I want you to take a look first at this PDF labeled Strategies for Preparing for the Reading section. This will help you as you go on to your self-practice. Don't forget to read the guide carefully and make sure you're completing all the activities, including the reflection questions. Remember, reflecting on what you've learned and what you already knew is helpful for preparing for the TOEFL iBT exam. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye!